Orlamar back here with another round of Grand Arena. This time my opponent's Synaptic. He's got gas. Looks like he's climbing an arena with an anti-SLKR counter there. Mostly offensive. Another close to top 100 Kyber opponent. So that's 3 top 200 Kyber opponents in a row this round. That's what I get for going to Chromium earlier than I should have. He's got a decent Falcon. He's got a 7-star Negotiator. Relic 7 Kenobi. Much better than mine. Lots of relics on his roster. Let's see how Gas is modded for offense. Lots of protection, modded well. Not much speed. Doesn't really need it. Yeah, quite a few relic characters. And sometimes I just don't understand how my GP is so much higher than some of these people, because I feel like their relics kind of outweigh mine sometimes. His Darth Revan is 331. I don't have mods like that, so that's not a fun team to face if I need to. I guess Padme would be fine against it, but let's see his Jedi Knight Revan, 305 speed. So decent speeds on everybody. Padme 245, just kind of a random check down lower. And yeah, so pretty well modded, pretty well geared. He's got a lot of characters that are just gear 13. Looks like he's kind of trying to control his matchmaking and control his GP to stay low. I'm kind of out here swinging and trying to increase my GP, get to higher divisions faster. He's in the same guild as my first opponent this round. That's what I was just showing. It was Clones and Tights. So I wondered if he talked to his guildmate at all about this matchup, because I did let his guildmate know that I recorded our attacks, or my attacks. So I put CLS and Newt on the bottom. I put Junk up top. I'm hoping he uses one of his good teams on CLS or Newt, and then I've got Negotiator in the back just to steal some banners from him, hopefully, because I know he'll one-shot it. I did switch out 5s for a tank. Just thought it's something you don't see all the time, so maybe it'll throw things off a little bit and maybe steal a couple extra banners. And then I hid my full gas team and my full Darth Revan team in the back, hoping that his gas or his Darth Revan are gone, because that's going to be harder for him to get through that. Maybe he has a CLS counter to gas, but I don't know. He's got bounty hunters and crew, and then he's got his gas in the front wall along with Geos. He normally puts General Grievous on defense as well, I've noticed, so I was kind of thinking I might have to save my my Jedi Knight Revan team for a Grievous team, but at the same time I need to get through this gas team, and my best bet is to put Yoda with my Padme team. This is not a very reliable counter. I usually can make it work about 50 to 60% of the time. I haven't done it in a while in Arena since I got gas myself, because if I do a Padme team in Arena, now I use gas in it. So I'm kind of rusty on the matchup. We did spread some foresight. Not sure if that was a mistake there. Might have wanted to save that, but just let them hit Kenobi over and over and over again, and hopefully build some stacks of courage to get through his protection. And hopefully we get through his protection at a time where they don't have a ton of turn meter. Unfortunately, they do. I think I can do an AoE here without worrying about killing any of them, because they all have full protection. So now that AoE helps us get rid of some of their protection and also build some stacks of courage here. Could have done protection up there, but I really wanted to get 5s out of there before Skywalker stands up. It turns out I could have, but then I wouldn't have gotten Rex out. So I did a big hit with Yoda to get Rex out, but then Skywalker stands up and decimates my team. Not an ideal outcome. Yoda's really good there for the foresight, but I just didn't have it available at the time to be able to spam it and get it before SWGOH stood up, and I felt it was important to take Rex out because it's going to be a much easier counter or cleanup now. So I have to change my plans around a little bit. I was going to use Vader and Watt on this Geo team. Instead, I am forced to use my Night Sisters. I wanted to use SWGOH with my Night Sisters to get the feat, but I wasn't sure if SWGOH would actually throw something off with this counter. I know it shouldn't technically be an issue, but this counter is kind of relying on the fact that Geos target Talia and Zombie a lot more than any other characters. So I wondered if SWGOH might throw off who they target, and then if the Geos target my DACA more than they usually do, I could potentially lose this matchup. So I've never lost this matchup when I've got this team in there, but I wasn't really wanting to risk it throwing SWGOH in there for an extra 70 banner feat, because if I did lose this, I don't know that I'd have the teams to get through it. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have the teams to get through both this and gas, since I put my CLS on defense. Probably not a very good move, since I knew facing General SWGOH was a very distinct possibility. I should have kept my CLS team to be able to use them as cleanup and then just placed a different team on defense, but I did what I did, and now we got to deal with it. So the goal here is to use these Night Sisters to get rid of these Geos, and then I can use a full Empire team to finish off with my Darth Vader to finish off that gas team. Looks like we still got full protection on Talia, so that's pretty good. I'll take it. We'll try to get them out of here quickly while we've got full health, full protection. We did lose some protection on Talzin, but it didn't matter. It still counted, so 56 banners. Not ideal, again, especially since we're going to get terrible banners on this next matchup as well, because we've already got a loss. So we'll throw in Palpatine, Vader, and Thrawn. We really want Thrawn for the fracture, so that once he stands back up after we kill the clones, he's not countering us to death. So we'll put the weapon stack on Vader. They get the turn because they've got turn meter loaded. Dooku counters, gets ability blocks, so that's kind of nice. We're able to spread some debuffs first, get a dot on Anakin. We'll probably should have just hit Anakin first there, and with my Culling Blade and taken out all his protection, and then I could have hit the clones again, but oh well, we play things wrong all the time. So try to recover some protection on Vader because he's going to get hit hard as soon as SWGOH stands up, as soon as his former self stands up, I should say. So we'll throw the Culling Blade so we get a bonus turn, but I guess Anakin's bonus turn supersedes Vader's bonus turn there. So not ideal. We lost Vader, but we do have, that's why we've got this fracture. We've got stuns on this team. Anakin's pretty tanky compared to my characters, but we're able to keep him under control here. Keep those stuns going. I'm a little afraid if he gets unstunned, but we were able to fracture again, so we should be golden here to get full health and full protection on all my characters again, other than Vader, who we obviously lost. RIP. 37 banners, not great, but we got through it. And he did not place his Grievous on defense, so our gamble kind of paid off there. But we gotta figure out what teams to use against these teams now. So against the bounty hunters, we can just use our bounty hunters. We'll do a mirror match here. Should be pretty straightforward. They've got Relic on Bosk or Gear 13, but we're a little bit faster. So I wanted Bosk lead because I'm going to be fast enough anyway. So we got the contract up already, and now we can just go after Django, see if we can take him out. Let's try again. Take out Django 1, and then we'll throw our grenades. Probably shouldn't have done that again. Probably should not have eliminated Bosk there, because I have a feeling Dengar's going to throw grenades again, or their Dengar's going to throw them for the first time, and then we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. So he threw grenades, only got one mine to land, and that was on Mando. So we're going to try to get him out of there as soon as possible before that blows up, and of course it blows up at the most inopportune time, right before I am forced to kill him. So we got 59 banners. Thank you, Dengar, as always. So we can take our Geos in against this First Order team. Should be pretty straightforward. They don't have any real damage. They've got a Gear 13 Kylo Ren unmasked, who is the tank, obviously, but we'll try to get rid of Hux quickly. Most of their characters are Gear 11 or lower, so the one character I'm somewhat would normally be afraid of, well, I guess I'd be afraid of Sith Trooper if he had a Zeta. His AoE attacks are pretty powerful against Geos, and then original Kylo would be kind of an issue too if you were better geared. But as it is, we're able to take them out fairly quickly. We'll use our heal just to make sure that we can get back around to it if we need it again. Now that everybody else is gone, Crew is pretty tanky, and his health won't go down. With my normal attacks here, he's going to heal himself up enough to recover all that protection and health. But we do have a big hit from Spy, which can one-shot him. So 60 banners. It's kind of nice because you can hit Crew as long as you want, and then recover health and protection while you hit him, and then finally just one-shot him whenever you're at 60 banners. So I don't have many teams left. I've got Bastila and I've got Jedi Knight Revan. Obviously I don't need them both on the same team here. So we'll just... I do have Nest I could try to use. Not sure how well that would work. So yeah, I guess I could try it against the Newt team, but I'm afraid of percentage health based attacks against Newt. Probably should have tried that, but I decided Bastila would be better. I've got Hermit Yoda, I've got Shaak Ti, I've got Gear 11 Luminara and Mace, so I'm just going to throw them in there because they get bonus protection. Mace will taunt, can just keep some of the heat off of Bastila and Shaak Ti for a while, because these Karth teams, while they're not very good, they still can kind of hit hard when they get a bunch of turns. So, and obviously my team's not very good here either, so you can see Mission's already taken her toll on Mace, and I know I play a few things wrong here because I haven't used Luminara or Mace in a long time, but we dispel Luminara. Probably should have dispelled the taunt instead with a basic from Shaak Ti. Luminara is almost dead, so when we dispel that, we're pretty close to death. We'll equalize our health here, help things out a bit. Try to get rid of Karth as soon as possible. So of course I called Luminara to come assist, and she had Daze and Blind, so we can't get rid of Karth, and they take out our Hermit Yoda. I'm not the smartest person in the world by any means, but that was dumb even for me. So they took out Luminara. Great. I have a feeling Mace is going to be next. Probably should have popped that Expose, just because that's the only mechanic that Mace has that's different than other people. Should have been calling Bastila to assist because she actually does some damage compared to Mace. The triple counter from Shaak Ti is kind of cool So let's dispel. Oh nope, we're gonna miss because I don't know if we were blinded or just it's just Mace, but I miss Mace. He's a fun character to play with, just because his kit's so bad and basic that there's nothing to do with him. But he was one of my first characters that I got to 7 stars, and I bought all his shards, and I thought he was going to be the best because I was facing him in arena, and I had no clue how to play this game at the time, but it was Mace Windu. How could he not be good? So I got him all the way up early on and used him in my arena team and thought he was pretty good because he hit hard compared to some of my other characters at the time. But anyway, we're able to make it work with just these two. I might have been able to make it work with just them from the start, just because Shock T's fast enough to heal up Bastilon enough, but 51 banners, not good at all. If he can get through my defenses, I'm pretty much screwed because I've dropped a ton of banners this round. And then it leaves a pretty thin lineup for this new team. I've got Jedi Knight Revan and Jolie, but I don't have any other good Jedi, so I'm forced to use Plo Koon here. I guess I could have gone in with 2, but I was afraid, I don't know, I might get stunned or something, and then Newt will go crazy and extort me, and yeah. So we went in with 3, got our turn meter boost from Plo. For some reason Jolie doesn't have a turn meter right now, like he doesn't even have a turn meter bar, so I'm not sure what that's all about. Probably some sort of glitch, but it made it more difficult because then I can't see who I want to swap turn meter with. Now I've got Jedi Knight Revan's special available. Still no turn meter bar, so I'm going to swap at the Plo because I know he's got turn meter. And we'll get rid of Cad Bane. We're really low on banners this time too. Like, what is going on? We're just losing banners left and right. We'll call Jedi Knight Revan to assist. 60 banners. Yeah, it could have been worse, I guess. But, then Fleet. His Phoenix ships are not great. Gear 8 characters on Biggs and his Ghost. And then a gear 8 or 9 Akbar. So Akbar's the home one ability that relies on Akbar's gear is pretty essential for that fleet for Akbar to be gear 11, because it increases the protection up that the ships gain when they attack out of turn. So I think it goes from something like 10% that they gain to like 40%. I could be wrong on that, but it's pretty absurd change. So Akbar really needs to be gear 11 for a solid secondary rebel fleet, but I can understand the not wanting to gear up Akbar, obviously, because he's just not good for anything else. So brought in Y-Wing, probably another mistake. Could have probably just finished it off without a reinforcement. But we did it, and then they take him out, or almost take him out. He's still got a sliver of health, and they reinforced. We'll see if we can recover health and protection on him. Let's heal him up here. I guess that healed Houndstooth accidentally. I must have fat fingered that. Great. So he's gonna die most likely. Ooh, still got a sliver, hanging on for dear life, and he doesn't have a taunt, so he might survive yet. Let's do an AoE and mass assist, recover some protection on him. Oh, come on, hold on, Y-Wing. Hang in there. And then we'll just attack, finish it off. 66 banners, that's alright, we'll take it. So we'll get a full clear, 1722, pretty abysmal score. My opponent hasn't attacked yet. He knows what he's got to do, so that's kind of an advantage, but I get too impatient to wait. We'll collect a feat here. I'll stand by my mistakes and continue to make them. Could have held on to that feat, but we'll come back when he hit. So I came back later
and found my opponent had attacked. So we'll get in to see what he did. Looks like he one-shot my junk zone up top, to be expected. One-shot my newt and my CLS. He one-shot my fleet, and I didn't even get a reinforcement, so that's a failed experiment there, that's for sure. And then he one-shot my Darth Revan. I assume he mirror matched that, and then could not get through my General Skywalker. Took 2 attempts. So we'll get a win here. Finally get some defensive holds.